Hello YouTube, this is Friaza, and today I'm going to show you how to make, well, nothing in particular, but bear with me. I'm going to show you how to script instances without any functions. I probably should have covered this a while ago, but I never really thought about it. So I thought I'd go back and do it individually. Anyway, ROBLOX Studio, of course, View, Explorer, View Properties, View Output. Once those are all open, you'll want to put a script in Workspace. And I'm going to call it Test. Now, in case you don't know what an instance is, these are all the instances, well, not all of them. You'll notice that since the last time I clicked in it, when I highlighted the workspace, there's a lot less options. Like, there's 2 rows of instances here and one over here. But if I click in workspace, I now have 5 rows, or columns. This is because it only gives you the instances that relate to the item you're clicking, relatively. So with no further ado, we'll start with a mesh. There are quite a few types of meshes, and I'll go over them. First I need to click on a part, click on the base plate, because it only lets you put a mesh on a part. And you'll see block mesh, cylinder mesh, and special mesh. We'll start with block mesh. You'll notice that when you put a block mesh onto the base, it becomes smooth. What this does is it gives it a meshy outline and makes it a lot smoother, and also allows you to increase the size of the look of it without actually increasing the size. And now it looks like we're working on Mars. Well, yeah, I'm sure you know how block meshes work. And next we have cylinder mesh, which is the same as block mesh but cylinder shaped. Cylinder meshes are pretty glitchy unless you're a part is relatively flat on at least 2 axes. Like here I'll put it in this part, wherever it is. Well, where is this anyway? Okay, I'll put it here. How long has that flying part been there? Oh well, ignoring that. I'll put a cylinder mesh inside it. And now it looks like a rocket power. The mesh seems to be working here, but sometimes the cylinder mesh will glitch out and go all crazy like. Anyway, remove that. This is a scripting tutorial, so I shall script. To create an instance, you do this. And then you put the name of the instance. To find the name of the instance, you look in the instance menu. Like if you want to add a block mesh, you need to write down block mesh like this, capital B, capital M. Now that alone won't do anything, it needs to have a parent, which needs to be a physical object, so we shall put well, we should give it a parent. We could tag it as like a mesh and then go mesh.parent equals workspace.base, which would put the mesh inside the base in workspace. But we shall stick with the simple way, which is to add a comment here and make the second argument, which will be workspace.base. And now we insert a block mesh which goes inside the workspace.base. Perfect. And now our base is smoother. Let's remove this. Now special meshes. Special meshes are a bit trickier. So we'll change block mesh to special mesh. And I'm just going to go into special mesh now to show you the layout. So take a special mesh and put it here. Special meshes are a little crazier. They have several options, so you'll want to go to the drop down menu here. And you can mess around with all of these. You'll notice that a lot of them don't work. Wedge works, I know that one. Then cylinder, sphere and brickwork. This is one of the cases where cylinder will go all crazy like. And file mesh. Could have sworn it was called custom mesh. Anyway, this is the tricky part. Well, it isn't actually hard, it's just tricky because you can easily get a virus. There was only really one way to get meshes easily, and that is to go into models. So we'll want to pause the game so we don't get a virus, because scripts can't run with the game paused. And we'll what meshes are there? Beer mesh. And I'll take Teddy block spin. Just going to remove the message that is put there, and I'm going to take the mesh ID. And put it here, and I'm going to take the texture ID and put it here. Then I'm going to delete the new part. And now I've got a floor that is like Teddy block spin. Okay, so now we'll want to script this, so we'll keep this open here and we shall script it like this. We'll give this a name, so mesh equals mesh dot mesh ID equals bracket, closing bracket, mesh dot texture ID equals open bracket, close bracket. And then we'll double click this, Control C, click here, Control V, double click Control Z, click Control V, and mesh dot size equals a vector 3.new 300 to 300. Okay, and now disable and enable this. Oh yes, I knew I was forgetting something, sorry. When it comes to meshes, it isn't size, it is scale, as I'll show you here. It's easy to forget and takes a while to get used to, but yeah, it's scale, not size, but if you look into the mesh itself, it will remind you. And instead of brick colour, it is vertex colour, so you don't really need to remember it, you'll see it when you look at the mesh itself. So mesh dot scale and now we have a giant bear instance. Okay, so that pretty much covers meshes. So I'm going to delete this and let's make a bomb. So first we're going to want a brick, so go into toolbox and we'll take a green plastic brick and I'm going to make this small. There we go. And I'm going to anchor this. I'm going to make this 0.1 and put the offset down a little. And now I have a nice wee button here, but it does not do anything yet. So I'm going to call this a trigger, and I am going to put this over here. And I'm going to name this dynamite. As you may have guessed, this will be the trigger for the explosion, and this will be the explosion itself. So I'm clicking trigger and insert object script. If you don't know what a function is, it is a feature in all programming and scripting, which well, not all scripting, but all programming anyway, which allows you to make an event happen when a certain something occurs. So yeah. So I'm going to name this function explode. Explode is just the name for the function, it means nothing, and inside these brackets here, this will, well, I'll finish this up first. You'll notice the blue line to the left of function. This means that you need an end. So for each one of these blue lines, put end, and we'll want the script to activate when the parent is touched. So script.parent.touched, which is the connection line for the function, and then hold on shift and click the semicolon button, and you'll get these double dots. Connect, and we're connecting the function, and since I call it explode, the function name is explode. You might want to try writing this down and a few times, and then trying to do it from memory to get the hang of writing it. All connection lines are pretty similar, and same with the functions. The only thing that really differs in functions is what's inside here. The return value of this function is the part that is touched. So for example, if our leg touches it, we will call the leg part. But this won't matter because we're not going to do anything to the object that touches the trigger. We are going to make the dynamite explode. So Instance.new brackets explosion brackets, and then we have an explosion, so we'll parent it to workspace.dynamite. You'll have noticed that it's still, the explosion goes to the middle of the map. So yeah, this is where we'll want to script explosion a little bit. What this does is it gets Z's position. Actually, I'll call explosion. And explosion's position sets to workspace.dynamite.position, which is -8, 1.6, 41.5. And there's two other important things with explosion: blast radius and blast pressure. If you want explosion to kill people, then put the blast radius above 0. I'll put this to 10. Oh, I wrote explode by accident. Explosion dot blast pressure equals 100,000. This is just how dynamic the explosion is. And I'm going to disable the script after one use. Script.disable equals true. This disables the script. Note that even if your script is not named script, it will still disable. You'll notice that this is uppercase and this is lowercase s, so they're not related. I shall call this a trigger script, just to emphasize that. And I'm going to disable and enable trigger script and then touch the trigger. And as you can see, the explosion occurs. Now for effect, I'm going to give, create a part, give it a mesh, and make that mesh grow like the explosion. So nuke equals Instance.new part nuke dot shape equals ball, which gives it a ball shape. nuke dot brick color is brick color dot new bright orange. Nuke dot transparency equals 0.4. Nuke dot anchored equals true. Nuke dot parent equals workspace. Nuke dot position equals workspace dot dynamite dot position. These are all basic scripting features of a part. As you'll see, shape is down here, which will change the ball. Then the brick color is up here, which we will change to bright orange. The transparency is here, which will change to 0.4, which is partially transparent. Anchored is down here, which will change to true. The parent is here, which is workspace. That puts nuke inside workspace, which makes it show up in the first place. And position is here, and we'll set the position of the nuke to the dynamite's position. But right now it's just a frozen orange block, so nuke dot top surface equals smooth. Nuke dot bottom surface equals smooth. And what this does is it goes down here and changes the top surface and bottom surface to smooth, which gets rid of the studs and inlets. Okay, now we can get onto the mesh. What to name it? I'll just call it mesh. You may be wondering why I need a special mesh for something as basic as nuke, as a circle or sphere. Yeah, Roblox has a cylinder mesh and block mesh, very easy to reach, but there is no sphere mesh, so you'll need to get a special mesh and make its mesh type sphere, which is what we're going to do. Mesh.scale equals vector 3.new 0, 0, 0, and then we're going to put a for loop. For exploding equals 132, and exploding means nothing, it just keeps track of 1 to 30. So it will cycle from 1 to 30, but we won't be using exploding anyway, so it's meaningless. And then wait, so that it doesn't happen instantly, and I'm going to make it wait 0.1 second, no that's 3 seconds, so 0.05, which means it will be over 1.5 seconds. And then mesh.scale equals mesh.scale plus vector 3.new 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, and actually that's too small for a nuke. So that it lasts longer. Okay, there we go. So it loops 50 times and increases the scale of the mesh until it has reached 15, because 3 times 10 is 3 and 3 times 5 is 15. So yeah, and then after that the explosion occurs, which will kill us. Let's get on with this then. Oh, we actually survived. It's looking pretty good, isn't it? Okay. What I'm going to do here is disable the script at the start, so that it only activates once, and then at the end wait 5 seconds, and then disabled equals false, which will re-enable the script after 5 seconds. And to show this, I'll make script.parent.brick_color equals brick_color.new black, which changes the brick color of trigger to black. And then I'm going to copy this down here and paste it here, and change it to bright red. This will show us that it has re-enabled itself. Just going to make this blast pressure a lot larger, and I'm going to make the blast radius 100. Okay. Oh yeah, we should probably remove the nuke afterwards, so and I'm going to wait 1 second so that the explosion doesn't happen and then, you know, straight after the nuke removes, because that's kind of lame. Actually, I'm going to make this run an extra 10 times just for effect. And after this I shall change nuke.brick_color equals brick_color.new bright red, which will change the nuke from orange to red. Let's test this now. And it works perfectly. I put the blast radius so high that my camera broke. So that's one lesson we've learnt. We should probably turn the blast radius down a notch. Pretty cool though, isn't it? It's fun to mess with explosions, isn't it? Oh, pure dodge that explosion like a boss. And then the button turns red after 5 seconds. Yeah. So that is how you make a nuke. Thanks for watching. Please comment, rate and subscribe if you want. Goodbye YouTube.